The sun climbs. It spills liquid gold across an ocean of grass. This is a land of immense scale, a place untouched by the clamour of the modern world. Here the horizon is a promise, a line that stretches into forever. The air itself seems to hum with ancient energy, a low, resonant frequency that speaks of timeless cycles. A gentle wind, a mere whisper at first, begins to stir the tall stalks of ochre grass. They sway in unison, a mesmerizing dance that has been performed since the dawn of time. A lone acacia tree stands silhouetted against the burgeoning light, its thorny branches reaching out like skeletal fingers, a testament to resilience in this vast, unforgiving expanse. Beneath the immense powder-blue sky, life awakens. The world here is painted in high contrast. The deep, rich soil is the colour of dark chocolate, a stark counterpoint to the pale, sun-bleached grass. Shadows stretch long and inky from every rock and every bush, providing temporary refuge from the intensifying heat. The silence is profound, yet it is not empty. It is filled with the subtle sounds of the wild, the distant call of a dove, the rustle of an unseen creature in the undergrowth, and the ever-present sigh of the wind. This is a cathedral of nature, vast and silent, where every detail tells a story of survival and endurance. A low orchestral score begins to swell, its notes mirroring the grandeur of the landscape. The music is not intrusive. Rather, it feels like the land itself is breathing, a slow and reverent melody that underscores the majesty of this place. The sound of water trickling over ancient stones can be heard from a hidden stream, a life-giving artery that cuts through the dry earth. These sounds, both musical and natural, weave together to create a tapestry of atmosphere. They invite us not just to see, but to feel the warmth of the sun on our skin and the gentle breeze that carries the scent of dust and wild herbs. We are but quiet observers here. Standing on the edge of this immense stage, we are privileged witnesses to a drama that is about to unfold. The air is thick with anticipation. It is a feeling that permeates every blade of grass and every particle of dust. Something is coming. The slow, deliberate pace of the morning is a prelude to events of great significance. In this kingdom of light and shadow, the players are beginning to take their positions. The great and epic struggle for life is the only story that matters on this endless, beautiful canvas.
Amidst a cluster of sun-warmed granite boulders, the rulers of this domain begin to stir. They are lions. Their coats are the colour of sun-cured hay, a perfect camouflage against the golden landscape. One by one they stretch, muscles rippling beneath tawny fur. A lioness lets out a jaw-cracking yawn, revealing formidable canine teeth, gleaming like polished ivory against the darkness of her mouth. Her amber eyes, flecked with gold, scan the horizon with a placid yet alert gaze. The rest of the pride follows suit, a slow, languid awakening that belies the immense power coiled within their bodies. This is their kingdom. Every rock, every water-hole, every patch of shade for miles around is part of their territory. It is a domain marked not by fences but by scent and by sound. The deep guttural roar of the male, which will soon echo across the plains, is a declaration of ownership, a warning to all who would dare to trespass. The lionesses, the heart of the pride, move with a quiet confidence. They are sisters, mothers and daughters, their bonds forged in the crucible of countless hunts and shared struggles. Their movements are fluid and graceful, a stark contrast to the sheer muscular bulk of the pride male. The environment itself is an extension of their being, the coarse, sandy ground beneath their paws, the thorny bushes that offer shade from the midday sun, the cool mud of the riverbank where they come to drink. all of it is intimately known. They understand the subtle shifts in the wind that carry the scent of prey. They know the secret paths that weave through the densest thickets. The high contrast world of brilliant light and deep shadow is their ally. It provides the cover they need to hunt, to rest, and to hide their vulnerable young from the ever-watchful eyes of predators. A gentle, ambient melody drifts through the air, interwoven with the sound of the wind moving through the dry grass. It enhances the sense of peace that currently rests upon the pride, a fragile tranquility in a life defined by conflict. The slow-motion camera follows a lioness as she grooms her cub, her rough tongue tenderly cleaning its spotted coat. The scene is one of profound intimacy and care. But even in this moment of calm, there is an undercurrent of tension. Every rustle in the grass, every distant sound is noted. For in this beautiful but brutal world, peace is merely an interval between battles. He lies apart from the others, a solitary figure of immense power. The male lion, his magnificent mane, a thick ruff of black and gold, frames a face scarred by countless battles. It is not just an adornment, it is a shield and a symbol of his strength, his history written in every scratch and tear. His eyes, the color of dark honey, hold a deep, weary wisdom. They have seen seasons of plenty and seasons of drought. They have stared down rivals and watched over his cubs. Today they are fixed on the distant horizon, perpetually scanning for threats to his reign and his family. His is a lonely existence. While the lionesses share the strong bonds of kinship, he is often an outsider who won his position through brutal combat. His primary role is not to hunt, but to protect. His sheer presence is a deterrent. His scent, sprayed on bushes at the edge of his territory, is a clear warning. And his roar, a sound that can travel for 5 miles, is the ultimate declaration of his power. It is a deep, resonant tremor that seems to shake the very air, a sound that strikes fear into the hearts of intruders and reassures the members of his pride. The cinematic lens captures him in stark relief against the setting sun. The light catches the tips of his dark mane, creating a fiery halo around his head. The shadows carve deep lines into his powerful form, emphasizing the dense muscle of his shoulders and chest. He rises, and with a slow, deliberate gait, he begins his patrol. Each step is placed with regal certainty. He is the king of this land, and his every movement is imbued with the gravity of his responsibility. The weight of the crown is heavy, and he carries it with a quiet, powerful dignity. The ambient music shifts, becoming more profound, with deep, resonant cellos that mirror the lion's own deep calls. The sound of his paws on the dry, dusty earth is the only percussion. He pauses at a watering hole, his reflection a perfect dark mirror on the still surface. The water, a sheet of liquid silver under the fading light, offers a moment of quiet contemplation. But his reign is a precarious one. Younger, stronger males are always waiting in the wings, eager to challenge him and claim his kingdom. His vigilance can never cease, for the threat of battle is a constant shadow that follows him. As twilight bleeds purple and indigo across the sky, the lionesses begin to stir. The cool evening air invigorates them. This is their time. The hunt is about to begin. They move as one, a silent, coordinated unit. The lead lioness, the most experienced of the group, lowers her body until her belly nearly scrapes the earth. Her movements are slow, deliberate, and utterly silent. The others fan out behind her, using the deepening shadows and tall grass as cover. Their amber eyes, which gather the faintest light, are locked on a distant herd of wildebeest grazing peacefully. The tension is palpable. The orchestral score becomes a low, suspenseful hum, a subtle drone that builds with each passing moment. The sound of the wind rustling through the grass seems to amplify the silence between each careful step. Every muscle in their bodies is tensed, ready to explode into action. This is a symphony of stealth, a deadly ballet perfected over generations. One lioness circles wide, her dark form melting into the long shadows cast by a rocky outcrop. Her role is to drive the prey towards the others who lie in wait, hidden and motionless. The lead huntress freezes. A wildebeest has lifted its head, its ears swiveling, sensing a disturbance it cannot yet see. The lioness remains as still as the ancient stones around her, a statue of coiled potential. The camera zooms in on her face, her whiskers twitching as she tests the air. The contrast is stark, the pale gold of her fur against the deepening black of the shadows. Seconds stretch into minutes. The fate of the pride, the survival of their cubs, rests on this knife edge of patience and precision. The wildebeest, reassured, lowers its head to graze once more. With an unseen signal, the trap is sprung. The flanking lioness bursts from cover and chaos erupts. The herd scatters in a panic, their hooves thundering against the dry earth. They run directly towards the waiting ambush. The huntresses explode from the grass, their powerful bodies covering the ground in massive, graceful bounds. It is a breathtaking display of speed and power. The slow-motion camera captures the explosive launch, muscles bunching and releasing, claws extended, their golden eyes burning with lethal focus. The silent, patient stalk has given way to a thundering, dramatic chase. Far from the pride's territory under the light of a rising moon, two figures move through the silvery landscape. They are male lions, brothers, their bodies lean and powerful from a life on the move. They are nomads, driven by an instinct as old as the savannah itself, the need to establish their own kingdom. Their manes are not as full or as dark as the reigning kings, a sign of their youth and their subordinate status. But their eyes gleam with ambition, and their muscles are honed by constant wandering and the necessity of hunting for themselves. Their journey is one of immense hardship. They are trespassers in every territory they cross, constantly at risk from established prides. They move mostly at night, using the darkness as their cloak. The landscape they traverse is a high-contrast world of brilliant moonlight and deep, impenetrable shadows. The silver light catches the dust kicked up by their paws, creating a ghostly halo around their feet. They pause often, lifting their heads to scent the air, their ears swiveling to catch the faintest sound. They are listening for the roar of a resident male, the sound that will guide them towards a potential conquest. A suspenseful, low-frequency music begins to build, a subtle thrumming that speaks of impending conflict. The only other sounds are the whisper of the night wind and the soft pad of their paws on the earth. They reach a ridge and look down upon the valley below, the heartland of the territory they have been tracking for days. They can smell the presence of the pride, the scent of the lionesses and their cubs, carried on the breeze. It is a scent that promises everything they desire: food, companionship, and a legacy. But to claim it, they must face the king. They descend into the valley, their movements now even more cautious and deliberate. They move like wraiths through the moon-drenched grass, their forms appearing and disappearing in the shifting patterns of light and shadow. The tension is almost unbearable. They are invaders, and their presence has not gone unnoticed. The air itself seems to crackle with unspoken threats. They are close now. In the distance, they hear it, the deep, resonant roar of the pride male, a challenge thrown into the darkness. They stop, lift their heads, and answer with a roar of their own. The battle lines have been drawn. The night air explodes with sound. The roars of the rival males tear through the tranquility of the savannah, a visceral declaration of war. The reigning king, alerted to the intrusion, rises to his full, magnificent height. His own roar is a deeper, more powerful tremor, a sound born of confidence and rage. He moves towards the challenge, his body a fluid mass of muscle and fury. The lionesses and cubs retreat to the safety of the rocks, their eyes wide with apprehension. They can only watch as the fate of their pride is decided by this brutal, primal combat. The titans meet in a clearing bathed in stark moonlight. For a moment they circle one another, a tense, ritualistic dance of intimidation. Muscles bunch, tails twitch, and low, guttural growls rumble from their chests like thunder. Then, with a speed that is shocking for such large animals, they collide. The impact is tremendous, a whirlwind of claws and teeth. The cinematic, slow-motion footage captures every detail, the spray of saliva, the ripple of muscle under skin, the flash of claws as long as daggers. The orchestral score swells to a dramatic crescendo, punctuated by the savage sounds of the fight. This is not a battle of mere aggression, it is a battle for survival and legacy. The king, larger and more experienced, uses his weight to his advantage, trying to overpower the challengers. But the brothers fight with the desperation of the dispossessed. They work together, one distracting the king, while the other attacks from the flank. The king's magnificent dark mane serves as a crucial shield, absorbing blows that would otherwise be fatal. Scars are torn anew, and fresh wounds are opened. Dust and fur fly in the pale moonlight, the combatants silhouetted against the bright, indifferent moon. The fight is a brutal ballet of power. The lions rise on their hind legs, wrestling and clawing, their roars echoing across the plains. The king, fighting with the fury of a monarch defending his throne, manages to land a powerful blow, sending one of the brothers stumbling back. He presses his advantage, focusing his attack on the remaining challenger. The sounds of their struggle are raw and terrifying. This is nature at its most elemental, a violent and necessary transfer of power that ensures only the strongest will pass on their genes. The kingdom hangs in the balance, its future being written in blood and fury under the African moon. Silence descends upon the clearing, as sudden and profound as the violence that preceded it. The dust begins to settle, revealing the outcome of the titanic struggle. The two brothers stand over the fallen king. He is not dead, but he is broken, his body battered, and his spirit crushed. He struggles to rise, but his strength is gone. With a final labored breath of defiance, he looks at his conquerors. There is no surrender in his eyes, only the deep, weary acceptance of his fate. His reign is over. Slowly, painfully, he limps away into the shadows, a deposed monarch exiled from his own kingdom. The victorious brothers do not pursue him. They are exhausted, their bodies bearing the marks of the brutal fight. They stand side by side, their chests heaving, and let out a series of thunderous, triumphant roars. This is a new declaration. It is a sound that announces their victory to the world and solidifies their claim to this territory. The sound echoes through the valley, reaching the lionesses who are still huddled in the rocks. For them, this new roar signals a time of great uncertainty and danger. The old order has been shattered, and a new, unknown reign has begun. The music softens to a somber, mournful tune, reflecting the tragic fall of the old king and the uncertain future of the pride. The camera follows the exiled lion as he disappears into the wilderness. He's now a nomad once more, a solitary wanderer destined to live out his final days alone. His powerful frame is now gaunt, his majestic mane matted with blood and dirt. He is a ghost of his former self, a poignant reminder that in this world, power is fleeting and even the mightiest kings must eventually fall. His story is over, but the story of the pride continues. Back in the heart of the territory, the new kings begin to assert their dominance. They patrol the boundaries, their scent overwriting the old kings. They approach the lionesses with a mixture of confidence and caution. The females are wary, their loyalty to the previous ruler not easily forgotten. The social structure of the pride has been thrown into turmoil. The dawn breaks on a kingdom redefined, the golden light illuminating a scene of tension and transition. The battle for the throne is over, but the struggle for the pride's future has only just begun. In the first light of dawn, hidden deep within a rocky crevice, a new chapter of the pride's story is revealed. The lionesses have kept the youngest cubs hidden during the turmoil. These small, spotted creatures are the future of the pride, the living embodiment of its legacy. They are clumsy and curious, their blue eyes wide with innocence. They tumble over one another in mock battles, their tiny growls and playful pounces a miniature echo of the life and death struggles they will one day face. Their spotted coats, a camouflage that helps them blend into the dappled light, will fade as they mature. The arrival of new males is a time of immense danger for these cubs. If the new kings discover cubs that are not their own, they will often kill them. This brutal act brings the lionesses back into season more quickly, allowing the new males to sire their own offspring and secure their genetic lineage. The mothers are fiercely protective, their maternal instincts overriding all else. They keep the cubs isolated. Their growls are low, constant warning to the new rulers who patrol nearby. It is a tense standoff, a battle of wills between the drive to protect and the drive to dominate. The camera captures a tender moment in slow motion. A lioness gently nudges one of her cubs with her nose, her massive head a stark contrast to the cub's tiny frame. She licks it clean with her rough tongue, her amber eyes soft with affection. The ambient music becomes gentle and hopeful, a delicate melody that underscores the fragility and preciousness of new life. In this harsh and unforgiving world, these moments of tenderness are a powerful testament to the enduring strength of familial bonds. The survival of these cubs is paramount. Days turn into weeks. The new kings, having established their rule, eventually tolerate the presence of the cubs. A fragile peace settles over the pride. The cubs, growing bolder, begin to explore the world beyond their den. They follow their mothers to the watering hole, their short legs struggling to keep up. They watch the huntresses with wide eyes, learning the skills they will need to survive. They are the promise of the future, the next generation of hunters and rulers. Their journey is just beginning, and it will be fraught with the same dangers and triumphs that have defined the lives of their ancestors. The sun sets once more over the vast savanna, painting the sky in fiery strokes of orange, pink and purple. The land, which has witnessed so much drama, settles into the quiet hum of the evening. The new kings of the pride lie on the same sun-warmed rocks where the old king once rested. Their powerful forms are silhouetted against the vibrant colors of the twilight. A new generation of cubs plays at their feet, their future secured for now. The great, unending cycle of life, death, and renewal continues as it always has. The orchestral score returns, now imbued with a sense of grandeur and timelessness. It is the music of the land itself, a melody that speaks of eternity. The wind whispers through the acacia trees, carrying with it the stories of countless generations. We have been privileged witnesses to a small part of this epic narrative, a story of power, of struggle, and of survival. We have seen a king fall, and new kings rise. We have felt the tension of the hunt and the tender bonds of family. We have stood as silent observers in the heart of the wild. This world operates on a scale of time far greater than our own. The lives of these lions are but a single brilliant thread in an immense and ancient tapestry. Their battles, which seem so monumental, are part of a larger natural order. This order ensures the strength and resilience of the species, a process of refinement that has been perfected over millennia. The stark beauty of the landscape, with its brilliant light and deep shadows, is the perfect stage for this timeless drama. It is a world of uncompromising realities, but also of breathtaking beauty. As darkness envelops the plains and the first stars appear in the immense inky sky, the roar of a lion once again echoes across the kingdom. It is a sound of dominance, of life, of continuity. It is the voice of the savannah. The players may change, the crowns may be passed from one to another, but the story remains the same. It is the story of the lion, an icon of wild Africa, forever locked in an epic struggle for survival. And it is a story that will continue long after we are gone, written upon the endless canvas of this magnificent land.